Hey guys, David from Modern Martial Artist here. I think this one's going to be really, really good. Both these guys love to strike. Both these guys are excellent strikers. Kevin Lee's a bit more of a wrestler, but not like a pure wrestler. He definitely has great striking technique. Both these guys have fought Ferguson and gave him some trouble before he took him down, which isn't unusual for Ferguson. Uh, but still, they did relatively well against him. And Kevin Lee was not dominating, but I think he was up ahead before Ferguson managed to submit him. And Lee managed to escape some really deep submission attempts by Ferguson and was able to get out of it. That won't factor much into this fight because I really don't see Barboza going for, you know, many submissions. But he's definitely competent. And then of course Barboza has didn't look like it against Habib, but really he has pretty good takedown defense, and the fact he was able to hang in there the entire time against him was really good too. So you have two guys who've fallen just kind of short of greatness, of being the best, fighting against each other, and you know, arguably still have room to grow, and you may see a fight with one of them versus these guys again, these top guys again. So guys who are on the very top, but just kind of like second tier to the guys who are the best in the world. So I'm gonna go over just kind of the general overall style of both of these guys, and then I'm going to go into where I think they're just gonna kind of clash. So Kevin Lee, amazing striker, knows his footwork really well. Always tries his best to take superior angles. Switch hitter, and he's the least complicated stance switcher in MMA. He either just steps into his strike, which that is fairly common, but not really in any kind of blitzing kind of way. He'll just step forward, or he'll kick forward and leave his foot there, very comfortable. Or what's really funny is he'll just do the karate taekwondo tournament kind of switch where you just kind of jump and switch your feet, which you're not used to seeing anymore. I'm used to kind of like the rebound step push offs with the or like switch shifts like TJ Dillashaw, just kind of, or like dragging up like kind of right angle shifts like Wonderboy Thompson. And then this guy's just like, no, I'm just gonna switch. I'm just gonna jump, and now I'm facing the other way, and it works for him, which is really funny because at least when you're in the air like that, it leaves you really vulnerable. But he makes it work, and he only does it an outside position, and he'll use that to kind of just generate different angles. Where he's really good is counterpunching, or intercepting shots, or just immediately after his opponent punches. He'll just kind of shuffle out, take a good angle, and then when he does that, he has some power. He has some serious power in his shots. He's a decent kicker. He's pretty fast. He'll combine the striking aspects with kind of just a grinding wrestling style. So he's not the very best at takedowns, but he'll keep at you. You kind of like a Mighty Mouse thing. Like he'll keep going for the takedown, and he'll keep trying to take you to the ground. And he'll just lean on you and get you really tired. And then when he realizes like, okay, you're not quite worn down enough yet, he'll get to the middle of the ring. He'll keep at it with that kind of elusive footwork, in and out, moving side to side, countering you, just getting your head kind of ringing, just getting you kind of worn out, tired of chasing him, tired of getting countered, and then he'll start grinding again. So it's just like that feedback loop of you're tired on the ground. I mean, you're tired on your feet. You're frustrated on your feet. And just when it seems like maybe you're figuring it out, or maybe you're getting more frustrated, either way, he'll take you to the cage, and then he'll just lean on you. Not even really trying to take you down, just trying to wear you out more. And then when you're really, really tired of that, he'll back up just suddenly and then try to go to the feet again. And after you're tired on both those kinds of different levels, that's when he'll take you to the ground. And he's great at submitting people from the back. He's great at ending the fight by taking the back. He wouldn't be near as successful if he didn't have the footwork and the striking capabilities to pull that off. Barboza's really obviously good at striking, just insanely powerful strikes. not able to put together combinations as well as Kevin Lee, I would say, because when he does string together combinations and it's from mid-range, he does it quickly, and there's not a whole lot of power involved in each shot. Like Kevin Lee can still throw 1, 2, 3 and then put power into the last shot. Barboza is very much either just kind of flurry with light taps, or he'll do what's kind of his signature, which is he'll get his opponent chasing. So he'll just back up, back up, back up, get them used to chasing him in a rhythm. Once they're used to that rhythm, he'll stop short, breaking the rhythm. So they're still coming at him. They're getting frustrated. They're running at him full pace. And very common knowledge that your punch or your kick hits twice as hard if your opponent's running into it, because you get that added body weight. So that's kind of what he does. Even when he sets up his spinning wheel kicks or hook kicks or however you want to call it, he'll just get opponent chasing, he'll stop, and then he'll spin. He'll just sink down and spin. The same thing with his hook. He has a very good left hook. And he'll just suddenly stop and plant. The problem, which I mentioned before the Khabib fight and was very obvious during the Khabib fight, is that he just does terribly with any kind of pressure. He has his range, he likes his range, but he doesn't really have a response to getting in that kind of closer, tighter range. Now, Kevin Lee likes mid-range too, but he also likes to charge at you and clinch and mainly for like I said, to just kind of grind and wear you out. But I think if he pressures Barboza, that would, unless Barboza's like made a huge advancements, that's probably his best chance for this fight. Because Barboza has insane leg kicks, and Kevin Lee's very susceptible to them. The way that he kind of comes in at these deep with his punches, he can get his leg kicked out very easily, and has gotten his leg kicked out very easily. And Barboza's stopped, I can't remember if it's 1 or 2 fights, probably just one, but he's done huge damage to his opponent's legs in almost every fight, and he's stopped one fight with leg kicks alone. His leg kicks are absolutely insane, and he times them well. So I think if Kevin Lee's trying to go in with that in-out counter, or just like step in deep to draw a counter, Barboza can very easily destroy his legs. So if he's at the right range. So I think Lee has to pressure him. I think Lee, because of the way that he just kind of, his takedowns look, since he's the kind of wrestler who's really just most of the fight looking, I think, to apply pressure and wear you out, his takedowns aren't the most explosive ever. And he is very susceptible to one of those knees Barboza throws. Man, that was a great knockout. When he just switched when he timed it and did a switch knee and just, man, absolutely brutal. So obviously Lee has to look out for those. If he kind of decides to take Barboza to the cage, so just like get him in a clinch, pressure him like he doesn't like to be pressured, take him to the cage, and then try to do a takedown from there, I think that's going to be, or just tire him out, I think that's going to be much, much more successful for him. So yeah, I see this is going to be an amazing fight. I think we're going to get some great exchanges. I think we're going to get a knockout. If we're not going to get a knockout, I think it's going to be a submission by Lee. But I'm expecting a knockout on this one, just because there's a high probability. Like, I'm not making a prediction. I don't really like to do those because there's so many different ways a fight can go. But if I were going to go with what I was expecting, it'd definitely be a knockout. And then secondly, I'd expect Lee to hurt Barboza but not knock him out, and then submit him afterwards. So that's pretty much all I have to say for this fight. I think it's going to be amazing, going to be insane. I think both guys are kind of desperate, so they're going to just give their absolute all, as both of them always do. And yeah, it's going to be one to watch. So looking forward to that. That's it for today, and I'm having a Wilder breakdown out soon. The dude is way more technical than you give him than you give him credit for. Way more technical than you give him credit for. And along with his power generation, I'm going to spend some time just talking about how he manipulates his opponent's guards. Also, in case you haven't noticed, I have a cold, so if this is your first time listening, no, I don't normally sound like this. So don't worry about it. I'll be in good form by the time I make the breakdown. And that's it for today. Leave any comments below of any upcoming fights you'd like to see broken down, and happy training.